Hi everyone, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk, and here we are at last looking at the Samsung Galaxy S5. I'll do a quick unboxing video for you, and then we're going to go and do our review, run some benchmarks and all that kind of stuff. So first of all, we'll just open up the box, and inside we have the S5 on top. I've chosen the white one here, but it's also available in blue, gold and black. We'll come back to that in just a second. In terms of other accessories, let's have a look at what else we have in the box. In fact, let's just open it all up and kind of get it all out. Move the box to one side. There we go. Right, so we have the quick start guide, declaration of conformity and all that kind of stuff. You'll notice that all of this stuff certainly has the appearance, a deliberate appearance of being printed and produced using recycled packaging, as the box and everything else, and obviously Samsung want to make that really obvious and clear, choosing not to even bleach the paper. Also in the box we have the battery, which is pretty important, so we'll need to unwrap that. It's a huge battery in terms of physical size, and indeed it is 2,800 milliamp hours as well. We then have the USB to micro USB sync charge cable, white to match the device. We have a set of headphones, which I'll pull out. Actually, it's a wired headset. I'll pack those. Take a look. So we have a 4-pole 3.5mm jack, inline microphone with push buttons and volume control, and then in-ear style headphones. They look fairly decent. They are sort of like the earbud style that pop right into your ear canal, so pretty cool. We then have various size earbuds, and then the UK charger, which has the pop out earth pin for the 3-pin plug, and interestingly the USB socket on the bottom rather than on the side or the back or whatever. On the bottom, slightly unusual. So taking a look at the phone itself, I will pop off all of the protective stuff because we want to be able to see it properly. So there we go. So quite light. Obviously we haven't put the battery in just at the moment. On the front we have we have forward-facing camera, which is 2 megapixel, capable of 1080p video recording, and then proximity and ambient light sensors just to the side of the loudspeaker. We have a 5.1 inch display, which is 1080 by 1920 full HD, let's say 5.1 inch. Covered with Corning Gorilla Glass 3 for scratch and damage resistance on the glass. Now the button on the bottom, which is obviously kind of like the home button. To the left hand side we have basically an up and down volume control, and you'll notice that there is this chrome style bezel around the outside of the device all the way around. And we look towards the bottom, we have a cover over the USB and micro USB, and I think that's, what's that, the LH connector, and micro HDMI, I think that is there as well. Am I right? Yeah. So on the other side, right hand side, just have the push button there, which is power button. Nothing much else to see. On the top, we have the infrared blaster, and then the 3.5mm headphone jack socket, on the side. And then on the back we have the camera, which is a 16 megapixel camera with LED flash and phase detection autofocus, capable of 2160p, sort of 2K video recording at 30 frames per second, or 1080p at 60 frames per second, HDR video, and built-in stabilizer, dual video recording, along with recording video and stills at the same time. Obviously the LED flash just below that. We also have the heart rate monitor on the back as well. And then the loudspeaker just on the rear, which is just a single loudspeaker. I'll pop the back cover off, which is fairly easily done. Very plastic feel to it, which obviously when the back cover's in place, it is fairly secure, but nevertheless it has that sort of a little bit of a fragile feel to it, certainly when you're pulling the back cover off. which is a little bit of a worry. And what you will notice, just pointing out here around the outside, is a little rubber seal, which is to seal it out for water and dust, because it's IP67 rated, dual dust and dust and water resistant. Water resistant to a depth of 1 meter for up to 30 minutes. So you could pop it in the swimming pool and take your underwater photos. SIM and microSD card sort of in this dual bay here type of arrangement, stacked on top of one another, again requiring a cover to be taken off for that. Battery pops in like so, and then the back cover just snaps on all the way around, and particularly because we need to retain that IP67 water resistance and dust resistance, it's important to make sure that is snapped securely all the way around, with all of the little snaps all the way around the edge. One thing I will point out again though is there is also a little rubber grommet around the cover for the USB connector on the bottom, and also the little hole off to the side is the microphone. I'll just turn on the power. While it starts up, let me run down the rest of the specification. As you would expect, it is quad 4G. So we have LTE, 4G, depending on different markets. Here in the UK it's 4G capable. Size-wise, dimensions 142mm top to bottom, 72.5mm wide, and only 8.1mm thick. And it feels extremely lightweight in the hand. It is 145 grams. I think the size of the device and the fact that it feels makes it feel so light. Plus it's plastic, and I think plastic has just a slightly lighter feel to it anyway in terms of how it's how it contacts your hand. But nevertheless, that's there. The display is a Super AMOLED, as we already mentioned, 1080 by 1920 pixels, 5.1 inches for a 432 pixel per inch. It's the TouchWiz user interface, which you're going to see in just a moment. In terms of other stuff, we've got Bluetooth 4 with A2DP, EDR and LE support. We also have NFC. There's the infrared port on the top, the infrared blaster that we already mentioned too. Internal storage, well, we have 16 and 32 gigabyte models available in the range. This is a 16 gigabyte model, and they both all have 2 gigabytes of RAM and support microSD cards up to 128 gig when eventually available. Or certainly they are extremely expensive and pretty hard to come by at the moment, but certainly will support up to 64, 128. I'm sorry, 128 gig when they're available. Obviously we have built-in Wi-Fi. Split 807BG N, and the AC standards, dual band, DLNA and Wi-Fi direct and Wi-Fi hotspot modes. The OS is Android 4.4.2, and we have a quad-core 2.5 GHz Crate 400 processor and Snapdragon 801 chipset, which we will take a look at in just a moment as well. We'll probably do a little benchmark also. So that's the specification out of the way. Let's go in and start. We will skip the inserting of a SIM card and go and connect to a Wi-Fi network, which I will go and do. One thing you'll notice, there is a slightly different keyboard there, which Samsung implement. So we will connect to the Wi-Fi network. We automatically update the date and time. Automatic time zone, yes. We'll go next. We'll accept all of this stuff because otherwise we can't actually use it. I have got Google, but I won't set that up just for the moment. I'll say not now, just for the moment to those. And skip that. Oops, that's auto. I don't want to set up a name just for the moment. And I will skip the creation of the Samsung account. And finally we'll call it Galaxy S5. So there we go. As I mentioned already, it's telling me immediately to check the battery cover and make sure that it's fully sealed all the way around the edge, which it is. Immediately we're picking up the location. We've got the Google search, we've got email, camera, Play Store, and the Google folder of all of its Google applications there. We have phone contacts, messages, internet, and apps down the bottom for the actual launcher. Okay. And swiping across, we have the, well, this is a Vodafone provided handset, so it's telling us about the Vodafone Discover. We have the S Health, Geo News, Kids Mode, and Gallery, and we have Galaxy Essentials and Galaxy Gifts. We don't wrap all the way around, but if we come back this side, We then have the My Magazine stuff, which is kind of the answer to HTC's Blink feed. Coming back again to the center or to the home screen, which you can see we can pull down from the top. We can turn the Wi-Fi on and off, GPS location, sound, screen rotation and Bluetooth, the S500 and Quick Connect, the backlight brightness, which is currently set to full. In fact, there's no SIM installed either. And then we have the full settings menu, which has been skinned so that it's a bit nicer, a little bit more user friendly to take a look at the actual quick settings in the user interface. We have the connect and play, personalize, connect and share, motion control, various applications, email gallery, planners and so forth. Coming back out here, taking a look at the installed applications. As I say, this is a Vodafone provided handset, so there's a couple of bits on here that are Vodafone centric. But otherwise pretty straightforward standard stuff. Amazon there being installed, which is more unusual, and the Kindle stuff pre-installed. But all the other stuff, Dropbox as well. All the other stuff standard loadout really. The Google stuff, Google Plus, Hangouts. You notice S Health is there, which we'll take a look at in a future video. Got the S Voice, My Files, music and so on. You've got the voice search and voice recorder, and smart remote using the infrared blaster on top to actually use it as a remote control. Quite cool. In terms of the other stuff though, it's pretty straightforward and pretty standard stuff. We'll take a quick look at what it's like to go on a web. So we can Chrome, and we won't sign in. We'll just quickly go to our site. Apologies for the hiccup in the video there. The camera managed to just randomly switch itself off and back on again, so that's bizarre. But anyway, carrying on, go to our site and take a quick look at page load speeds and rendering, and just see what the display looks like. There we go. So loading pretty quickly, obviously using Wi-Fi rather than the actual SIM card. So there isn't one. But as you can see, quick and smooth scrolling through, nice and quick on the switch between portrait and landscape, and being that it's a full HD display, text is extremely smooth and easy to read, nice and clear, and pretty vibrant in terms of the colours. The colours are nice and strong, and the whites are indeed nice and white, so that's pretty cool. We'll take a quick look at YouTube playback, so let's just see a little bit on video performance. So go to our channel. Nice and quick on the browsing there, and let's just grab one of these. Anyone will do. There you go, let's just grab that one for now. And all the ads streamed up pretty quickly.
Hi, I'm Joe.
I'll skip that. It's extremely loud actually. Okay, so that's pretty loud. One of the things that obviously HTC really boast about is their boom sound speakers, but this isn't doing too bad a job. The only obviously thing is that it's just a single speaker on the back and it faces backwards rather than forwards. But in terms of volume, it's pretty loud. It's pretty good. Let's take a quick look at the camera, and it will only be a quick look because obviously we want to be able to go outside and really test it properly. But in terms of the interface, let's just bring something there in front so we can see. And let's just put that there. So on display, it's extremely bright again. The brightness of the display really showing through there. Just taking a shot is extremely quick. We can switch between the front and the rear cameras. As you can see there, not very exciting. Certainly I'm not. Then we have the different settings that we can go into. So we've got picture stabilization, the picture size, face detection, metering modes, full HD video, zoom, audio zoom, HDR, flash, timer, effects, and so on. There's a complete wealth of settings there that we can mess around with. We can do video and stills at the same time. So if I start recording a video, I can also take a still, which is denoted by the fact that the little display around the outside, a little box flashes up. And I can change different modes with beauty face and shot modes, and auto and panorama, and various other things. Dual camera, so we can do front and rear at the same time, which is quite nice, and you can download other settings as well through there. But yes, in terms of the camera, it's pretty quick in terms of taking the pictures. It snaps extremely fast, which is pretty impressive. And in terms of the captured video images, go to the gallery, and they are pretty good. There is a little bit of noise around the edges on the compression, and slightly over sharpened, which again, all mobile phone cameras or manufacturers seem to employ this really heavy JPEG compression and over sharpening. But because it is a 16 megapixel camera and we can come out to a more sensible zoom level, it seems certainly clear enough, sharp enough, and there's a lot less jaggies there than if you zoom right in. So, but obviously we will take a look at the camera in more detail when we do our review. We'll be shooting with the camera outdoors, indoors, using the flash and all sorts of other things, just to really get that full feature comparison. Now clearly the Samsung Galaxy S5 is being compared to the HTC One M8 an awful lot just at the moment, and we're going to do exactly the same here now, so you can see both of them side by side. There we have them, very similar in size, physical, the HTC One being a little longer, although slightly narrower than the Galaxy S5, being a little heavier because, let's face it, we do have the all aluminium metal construction, than the Samsung Galaxy S5 being plastic, and slightly thicker, but not a great deal in it in terms of the overall thickness. Slightly smaller screen on the HTC One M8 than on the Galaxy S5, and the backlight brightness is set quite low here on the HTC One M8. I mean, I think it's a lot down to personal preference when it comes to these two devices. They're certainly both extremely capable, going in different directions in terms of their both their display technology, one being AMOLED and one being LCD, but also in terms of the camera technology. As you know, on the HTC One we have the 4.1 ultra pixel camera with the duo camera for the depth of field stuff, and HTC going in the direction of much larger pixels within their camera sensor to capture more light and more detail, whereas Samsung have gone to the 16 megapixel camera with their phase detecting autofocus and single flash, although it does protrude slightly at the back, but that's the direction that obviously Samsung have gone. And there are multiple camera elements in there, 6 lens elements I believe in there, so it's a little bit more complex. And then the all metal of the HTC One, 90% metal on the chassis, versus pretty much all plastic on the Samsung. Performance wise, well, we'll do a benchmark in another video, because I know that's something that a lot of people would like to see, devices side by side in terms of how they benchmark. We'll do that in a future video anyway. So back to the Galaxy S5. We will do a full review in the coming weeks. I'm certainly looking forward to playing around with it, and looking at a flagship device from a very important manufacturer such as Samsung is always fun to take a look at. So we'll have that video and we'll have that review for you, up as soon as we can, probably over the next couple of weeks, once we've really got properly hands-on with it. As always, we like to use devices properly, day to day, using it as a device that we are going to use day to day. So that's been a reasonably quick look at the Samsung Galaxy S5. Back soon with some more videos and reviews on tracymac.co.uk. But for now, thanks for watching.